In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a logo in PicMonkey for your WordPress site. So here we are in PicMonkey, and we are going to the design area here, and we are going to click custom size. Now, when you go to your website, you will find in the customizer, in the, let's go back, in the header image area of your WordPress customizer, you will most likely get instructions on what size logo or header image to upload to your header. And in this case, we're using the Darling theme by Restored 316 Designs, and they have set the 700 by 300 pixel parameters for our logo. So we are going to click the design tab, and we are going to put in our 700 by 300 pixel parameters, and it'll pull up the blank canvas in that size. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start playing around and finding what kind of logo I want to make. So there are a lot of different types of fun little elements you can add here. You can add a drop shadow. That's pretty fun. You can do rounded corners if you really want rounded corners. Of course, you can't see it here because the background is white. You can do shape cutouts, so it's a circle. This is really great if you wanted to do a square, maybe a 300 by 300 square or 400 by 400 square, and do a circle and then add your image to it, and you can create a great little image logo of yourself with your blog name, or for your About Me widget on the sidebar of your blog if that's something you add. So there's a lot that you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the overlay section, and I'm going to click geometric. Let's see. Let's see, color 1, I'm going to make like a gray. And color 2, I'm going to make white. So this little box here, if you see a 6-digit code, that is for the hex code. And FFF, 6 Fs is the equivalent of white for code. So we are going to put that in. I'm going to change the border color a bit. I'm not sure that I really like that color. And the border is a little bit too thick for me. I'm not sure that I really like that, but we will work with it. We will work with it. And then we will do a little text. You can pick any of their fonts here that they have. They have lots of amazing fonts to choose from, or you can add your own text. So I'm going to their fonts because they tend to have a lot more fonts, and I really, really like their fonts. So I'm going to try Windsong, and then I'm going to click Add Text, and that will put a text box over here. And I'm going to put your blog name here. That is the name of our fake blog that we're doing. And I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to center it right there, and then I'm going to change the size of the font. That's a little too big. You can see that I don't have a specific method. I just play around with it until my brain says, oh, that looks good. All right, your blog name here. And then you can add, oops, you can add another text box here if you want to add your, oops, it is very temperamental. Let's do that again. There we go. We're going to add it down here to add our tagline. Let's do Geo Sans Light. So we have a script font and a sans serif font. so one thing that you can do, and what we will do here, let me delete this little element, there we go. So we are going to change the colors of our fonts here, and we're going to come over here and we are going to use our handy dandy color picker here for Chrome, and I'm going to pull the color right off here, the hex code color from this color here in the font here. So I'm going to copy that, I'm going to head over here, and I'm going to click on the 6 digits here for color, and then I'm going to paste that hex code and hit enter, and that's going to change the color of my font. They also have elements here. You can do stars, they have, let's see, I think there's flowers back here somewhere. There are leaves and stuff, roses, daisies, floral, see, vintage blooms. These are so fun, these vintage blooms. So I'm making this kind of similarly to the way that I made the Canva one. If you haven't seen my Canva tutorial, this is kind of similar to the way that I made that one. So we can put that in the corner here. This might be too much, but I kind of like this one, so I am actually going to do that for the other corner as well. So I think it looks really, really nice. Cover up the corner a little bit there. We can remove that since that's a little bit too much. And then you have kind of a nice fancy logo. We can increase the size of this too if we want to make it bigger. We can lower it a tad. And that is kind of a generic logo right there. And so you can also, if you don't like the font, we can always find a new font. Go here to the text font. We can go with Rochester and make that a bit smaller. As you can see, there are tons of different fonts you can use, and I can seriously spend hours just looking at all these different, that's kind of a fun one, looking at all these different fonts. Of course, you might not have a very feminine website, yours might look a little different, and you can do anything. You don't have to do those, you can do different shapes, you can do different things. I highly recommend that you start looking around for logos that you really like. And I don't recommend copying logos right off, just 100% copying them, because obviously there are copyright laws and you definitely don't want to do that. But be inspired. Look around, see different elements that you like, different fonts that you might like, or different structures. If you like this little boxed look, that's kind of cool. You can find ones that you really like. If you want to do a circle logo, you can do a circle logo. That's what we do for crystalpaine.com and the Crystal Paine products website as well. So there's lots of fun. Emily's Candy is kind of a fun one. Sacramento, it's kind of a fun little. Okay, so let's just say that's the logo we pick. We're going to save it. And I'm going to put my logo, click save, and then I'm going to click export. And JPEG, the .jpg file extension actually creates an image file that's smaller, so it's easier on your servers. The problem is, though, it does not do the transparent background, which in this case is probably not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to do that. What I recommend, though, is if you want a transparent background, you need to do a .png file extension, and that will create it with a transparent background here. So then you can click export to your computer. You can save it, and once that's downloaded, we're going to come over to our website and we are going to upload the new file. Okay, so we have a different version of this, and it's going to ask us to crop the image, and since we created the image to the exact specifications, the 700 by 300 specifications, we are good. We can skip the cropping, and it's going to add it right there to our website. So you can click publish, and that's it. That's how you create your logo in PicMonkey and how you upload it to your WordPress site.